Guys, welcome back. This is Modern Man MTG here, and today we're going to be playing Living End. This is a deck that recently has fallen off the map. Not very many people are playing it because it gets caught with hate for the dredge decks, and in my opinion, the dredge deck is a superior deck to this. It just does more unfair things in the current metagame. This deck is easier to play around the graveyard hate that hits dredge, except for if it's Living It or Leyline of the Void. Like, this deck's easier to play against, like, relics and Tormod's crypts and surgical extractions. So I'm just playing your normal 60 card Living End deck. The sideboard's the same too. We're playing Ravage Traps to hate out the dredge decks. Fairy Macabre, one on the side, two in the main for the same thing. We got a Dismember on the side deck for any troubling creatures. Anger for the aggro decks. Ricochet Traps for the blue control decks. Ingot Chewers for affinity. Crossing Grip for affinity or the Enduring Ideal deck that's getting big. Brindleborers for the burn deck because you do pain yourself a lot with playing all these Shocklands and Street Wraiths, and Beast with them for any permanent that doesn't get hit by any of our other hate cards. We also have two of those in the main deck. So we're going to go ahead and jump into a game here and see how it goes. Play against Ricardo. My man Ricardo with the Bottle Gnomes avatar. I do like the Bottle Gnomes avatar. I'm not going to lie. I need to change mine up. I've been using the Rothy Dragon for a while now, since Mirage, so. Oh, this hand is not good. You normally don't keep any hand with one of these in your, or with any more than one of these. This card should always, or you never want this card in your opening hand. For the instance, it doesn't work well with Cascade spells. So what Cascade does is you cast it. This one says you target a creature can't block, so you target a creature when you cast it, and you get your Cascade spell. So what Cascade does, it allows you to reveal the top cards of your library until you reveal a card that costs less than this. And the only card that costs less than Demonic Dread is Living It. So you're going to cast your Living It and get all your cycling creatures back from your graveyard. So with that being said, we're going to have Mulligan in this hand. This hand's better. I'll go ahead and keep this one. Do I want another land? No, I don't think a land's what we're looking for. Pay 2 life, grow into them, untap, pass turn. The only cards in 75, including main deck and sideboard, that cost less than 3 are the Living Ends. See that in the side deck as well. But we have some ways to get around it with like cards like Dismember. It costs 3, but you're normally paying it for less than that. We're going to go ahead and cycle the Carabid. Drew a land anyways, unfortunately. We're going to evoke a Shriekmaw. You always kill the Mana Dork on 1. Okay, let me rephrase that. 95% of the time you're killing the Mana Dork on 1. It's always in your best interest. There's pros out there who swear by when they're playing against Dredge deck, or not Dredge, Infect decks that they won 95% of the time they kill their Noble Hierarch on turn 1. So that's just something to keep in mind here. Oh, okay, well, we might actually just be casting Violent Outburst next turn. Something to consider here is playing my Fulminator Mage and hitting one of their lands. But what I think is we're going to go ahead and cycle the Street Wraith. We got 3, 6, 9, 13 damage in the graveyard. So what we're going to do is we're going to discard a Fairy Macabre, exile my opponent's Wooded Foothills and Birds, play Keswick Wolfrun, and cast Violent Outburst during my turn for the reason of it shuts off 2 of their mana here. My opponent just scoops it up. They know what's coming. So what Living End does, Living End exiles all creatures in play and replaces them with the creatures in the graveyard. So I'm killing basically my opponent's 2 birds there and cutting them off 2 mana. So here I really have no idea what my opponent is playing. I feel like Dismember is probably pretty good against him. I usually note of me playing this deck. I usually cut the land cyclers first, so here I'm probably cutting Pale Recluse. For the reason I like to be able to cast every card in my deck, and this one I can't cast. I should probably be playing Jungle Weavers. It's an idea I've been tossing around, replacing a Pale Recluse, the Twisted A-Bomb, with 2 Jungle Weavers. But I've had this Twisted A-Bomb get me out of many situations. That's probably it for now. Maybe Anger of the Gods. Yeah, I guess we could probably bring in Anger and take out A-Bomb. We'll try it like this. So an idea I've been toying around for my channel is looking at the Aether Revolt spoilers and doing a video talking about ones I'm most interested in and what format. Format I'd most looking at the most would be like Modern, because that's the format I know the most about, and I don't want to talk out of my ass about the other formats. I know Modern, Commander, and some of Legacy, not a whole lot, and some Pauper. So talk about that. I'm debating whether I want to do it overlaying an EDH game, or if I rather do it over mythicspoiler.com and just looking at each individual card on the screen as I talk about them. Let me know down below what you guys think of that idea. It would help a lot. What you guys are most interested in. The reason I play my swamp there is because I want to maximize the chance I draw the 3rd land. I have 2 Cascade spells in my hand, which are pretty good. So when you have Living End in your opening hand, it's basically like already mulliganing. So just keep that in mind when you're playing your spells, or when you're deciding whether you can keep or not. Opponent plays Strangler, guys, that's fine. Probably attacks for 2. Go ahead and cycle this guy. Drew Spirit Guide, which is very good if we're going to be cascading. Go ahead and cycle this guy as well. It's pretty good as well. And I drew the land. But I'll play my Bloodstained Mire here so I can go grab a Forest for Violent Outburst if that's what I want to do. So the thing about Living End is it actually doesn't kill the Stranglehold guys, so it'll come back. Because what it does is it exiles all cards in your graveyards, in each player's graveyards, all creature cards, that is. Exiles them, and then they sack each creature in play. So it doesn't actually kill the Stranglehold Geist. Go ahead and take 2 here. Opponent cast Rest in Peace. Yeah, that is interesting to say the least. We're gonna go grab a Stomping Ground, I think. Yeah, Stomping Ground, because we don't have any red mana besides the Simian Spirit Guide. Green, black. Go ahead and cast Violent Outburst. Violent Outburst is going to cascade into the Living End. I'm going to cast Living End. He gets his dude back. It doesn't really do anything because I have a bunch of 4-power creatures or 4 toughness creatures. Drew a Fulminator Mage, which is good for us. The question is, can I race him? It's 7 a turn to his 3 a turn. Probably just keep attacking with the Caryatid or the Monstrous Carabid until I get in the position where he needs the block. Especially since I'm taking 2 off my Watery Grave. Red, black, black. And here I'm going to shoot his Firelit Thicket, cutting him off green mana. The reason I don't wait until during his turn is because I don't want him to be able to untap and cast a spell. I'm normally very aggressive with my Fulminator Mages. Sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't. Opponent cast Wall of Omens. Sure, that's fine. I'm curious what my opponent is playing here because they're playing like an aggressive defensive deck. I don't think I've ever seen like a Wall of Omens in this like a Zooish deck. Oh, he might be actually playing the Eldritch Evolution deck. That'd be interesting. I don't think I've ever played against that before. Something to note here: you can actually cast your Demonic Dread on one of your opponent's creatures and choose not to cast your Living End. A lot of people forget about that. So you can put the Living End back on bottom. Here I'm just going to attack with the Carabid again. Could have attacked with both and cast Fairy Macabre. I'm going to go ahead and cast this anyways. Opponent goes to 11. So now I'm not even really interested in killing this Rest in Peace because I can just cast most of my creatures here. Rest in Peace is only like Graveyard Disruption is only good against this deck if you get it early. Scoo's another card that I'm not worried about. So here I'm just going to attack with the Carabid and the Street. Oh, and the Fairy. That's the one. The Fairy Macabre. Fine. Fine with that double block. Something to note as well is you can always suspend a Living End. A lot of people forget about the suspending clause of Living End. The reason a lot of people don't do it is because you have to play it around it yourself, and your opponent sees it coming, so it makes it a lot less good. But sometimes you just have to do it. You know, you draw mono Living Ends. You have no way to cast your creatures. Loxodon Hierarch. Yeah, I think my opponent's playing like an Eldritch Evolution deck. Maybe like a remnant of the old um, Birthing Pod decks. So what do I want to do here? I know I want Wooded Foothills to be the draw. Which card would I rather my opponent play? Actually, maybe I want the Hierarch to be the draw because my opponent didn't play a land this turn. So let's go Path on bottom, Foothills in the middle, Loxodon Hierarch on top. Next turn, I'm going to put my opponent at 1. If they don't play a creature here, I'm going to Demonic Dread their Wall of Omens. And I won the match. Yeah, let's go ahead and get you a second match going here. That one didn't last very long. I normally like to get you guys some longer videos. I'll give you something to watch during break or whenever you're watching YouTube when you're taking a shit or something like that. Whatever, whatever floats your boat. Yeah, I'll go ahead and keep this. Hand's pretty good. So I'd classify this as like a stream deck. It's not one of those casual, like, it's a tier deck, in my opinion. It's just not a very good tier deck. It's good if nobody sees it coming. So I guess it's like Dredge of Legacy. That's what you could compare it to. Um, Play Foothills here, pass turn. This deck's actually pretty weak to Tron, especially if they have early Tron. Something to be mindful of. So I'm going to update you on the mic situation I was telling you about earlier. So I ended up buying a mic that I needed a splitter for, a female 3.5 millimeter splitter. I got that, and then it turns out my computer can't pick it up for some reason. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Best Buy this weekend and take it back and end up just buying a microphone instead of using a mic. See how that works out. This hand is drew a violent outburst, two violent outbursts actually, which makes this very awkward. I would have loved to see like a fulminator mage or something there. My opponent Sylvan Scrying, obviously for the last piece of Tron. So we're going to pass with a Bloodstain Mire up. Hopefully my opponent doesn't play anything stupid, like a turn 3 Karn. That'd be annoying. Turn 3 Karn. That's fine. It's probably going to hit one of my lands. So if there are any YouTubers or streamers out there, let me know down below what you guys use to record with. I'm interested to hear about it. I was looking around. Some people record with the gaming headset. Some people record with microphones. The reason I wanted to get a gaming headset was so I could, play games. I could get a double use out of it. So I could play games with it as well as playing Magic or recording videos with it. But it does not seem to be the case currently. Just going to attack my opponent with the Carabid and Karn with the Street Wraith. Kill his Karn, pass turn. Hopefully my opponent doesn't play like an Ulamog or something. Remove both my lands. It's another card, though. I mean, that's just a shitty for me. I like Tron. You'll see it in my upcoming videos. I have mono blue Tron put together and Pauper Grixis Tron put together. We'll go ahead and cycle first and see what we draw. I guess I can give my opponent a violent outburst. I could have given him Twisted A-Bomb. Map. Sure. That is a very strong draw. Go ahead and attack my opponent. Not attack the Karn, because it doesn't kill the Karn, and I'm trying to kill my opponent as fast as possible. So I'm considering Beast Withinning the Karn or one of their Tron lands. Opponent has 4 cards in their hand. One of them is a forest. Play Debtor as a tower. Huh. I think I Beast Within a Karn. Well, maybe not. You can exile a card from my hand. I don't care about that. Exile a permanent. Once you hit one of my dudes. Yeah, I think it's got to be Karn here and hope they don't have anything else. Karn just gets them back in the game too easy. I'm going to cast Ancient Stirrings, revealing Sanctum of Ugin. I already played their land for the turn, which is good for me. Hopefully they don't have like a card, another card. 3 cards would be obnoxious. Is it an Ulamog? Ugin, huh? Oh, yep, there's the Ugin. -5 Ugin. Plus the Ugin, huh? That's interesting. Hmm. So I think I just double attack my opponent goes to 2. That's interesting. Huh. I should have cast my Violent Outburst there, but I wasn't thinking my opponent was going to take it. Something to note, I'm keeping up with my opponent this game, and I have yet to draw any number of Fulminator Mages. Opponent casts Sylvan Scrying, that's fine. Grabs a Brushland. Plays the Brushland. My opponent has Sanctum of Ugin XX in their hand. I'm assuming they grab a Brushland so they can path something. Go ahead and take 3 from the beast. That's 6. The reason I don't Violent Outburst there and save myself 3 damage is I want my opponent to like play a Karn or -5 as Ugin. See, there they go. They're -5ing their Ugin. Exiling all the dudes. And now, oh, they're just not even going to cast anything. Okay, so we're going to go green, red, black. Cast Living End. Architects, I'm going to actually target myself with Architects of Will. There's a Fulminator Mage, which is good for us. Bottom, middle, top. My opponent actually scoops it up. We're just going to go to game 2 here. So against Tron, Beast Within's good. I can Beast Within their lands and get them off Tron. I think that's about it, actually. Maybe like Ignite Shooters and Croson Grip for blowing up their stars and their spheres. I don't think Shriekbog's good against my opponent because it can't kill anything, any of their important creatures. I think that's it really. I guess this is where my sideboard weekend. Maybe I can cut a Crossing Grip and play like maybe a Molten Ring. I could see that being an option, or maybe the 3rd Fairy Macabre and playing like Molten Rain. Go ahead and try it like this. I hope you guys are having a great holiday break. And I hope you guys have a happy new year. Me and my girlfriend have plans. We're just going to hang around here, drink a little bit, have a movie night. This hand's actually very good, in my opinion. I can go turn 2, Fulminator Mage, turn 3, Fulminator Mage if I draw a land. Plays the map as always. Oh, and I got it. Okay. Okay, deck. Black Cleave cliffs here so I can maximize the chance of drawing a land. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have Tron piece here. They do, unfortunately. My opponent casts Ancient Stirrings. My opponent's showing all the disrespect here with the black border and white border. I have a thing about card art. As long as the border matches and the frame matches, I'm not as mad. But if I see like a black bordered Urza's Tower and then like a white bordered Urza's Mine from 9th edition, it definitely puts me on tilt a little bit. I cannot lie. But cycle this. Did not draw a land, unfortunately. Sure. Draw a land there either. But I do not have a choice. Here's grab Stomping Ground, untapped. Exile Spirit Guide. So since my opponent played Urza's Tower first, we're going to use the information that they may have a second Urza's Tower in their hand. I don't know if it actually matters, but some of the people I watch on YouTube suggest it does. So we're going to go ahead and Fulminator Mage their Mind. I could be wrong. I'm not going to lie, but I have another 2 Fulminator Mages in hand. So if I draw a land here, my opponent's going to be very upset. Did not draw a land, but I did draw another mana source. I think you could have passed the turn here. If my opponent cracks their map and then I'll blow up one of their lands. But if they don't crack it until their turn. Okay, they're cracking it here. I'm going to go ahead and shoot this power plant or tower. I'll go ahead and shoot their tower. I guess I probably should have shot their power plant just in case they had another tower in their hand, using my logic from earlier. Once again, that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. It's just one of those things that people think that's how it works, but each person's different. Opponent grabs a Razor Verge Thicket. I wonder if they have Rest in Peace in their hand, maybe? Maybe like a Sylvan Scrying? Chromatic Sphere is fine. Drew my 4th Fulminator Mage. That's interesting. I would cycle my creatures here to see if I can get a land. But I don't want to walk into the Rest in Peace. Or, I guess it doesn't. It kind of matters. And it kind of doesn't at the same time. Yeah, I'll go ahead and cycle a Dreadshot Minotaur. See if I can draw a land. And I'll cycle an Architect. Did not draw any lands. That's unfortunate. But I think our hand's good enough where if I ever draw another land, we win the game. So we know my opponent has an Ugin in their hand that they can cast. There's a tower. My opponent casts Sylvan Scrying. Grabs a mine. Land. Shit. We're going to go ahead and force cycle a Pale Recluse. Grab an Overgrown Tomb. Play it untapped. Pass the turn. opponent plays Ugin probably. Or Karn. Karn's good too. Probably exiles a land. Now I'm debating whether I attack his lands or his Karn. I think I have to attack his lands so he can't play this Ugin he got earlier. He's going to attack my lands, which is unfortunate. Cycle this, hopefully draw a land. Did not draw a land. I would like to draw another land here. Drew the land. Go ahead and cast my third Fulminator Mage. Mine. My opponent has a mine and a tower in their graveyard, so I can either blow up their mine or their tower. Go ahead and shoot the tower again. Just because it's annoying. And it adds 3 mana. I wouldn't mind my opponent negging 3 of their Karn here. Blow up another one of my lands. He did not. So I'm going to exile an Architects of Will. Opponent plays Chromatic Sphere. My opponent finds the other Tron piece here. I think I have to Fulminator Mage another Tron land. So they did not. So maybe I just Beast Within Karn. And then I can Demonic Dread the Beast next turn. I do like that idea. It would be unfortunate if my opponent had Tron land and another Karn in their hand. We still know one of their cards is an Ugin. If I'm able to cast this Demonic Dread next turn, my opponent did have the Urza's Tower. That is very unfortunate. Plays the Ugin. Yes, sometimes Tron just can't lose the 3 Fulminator Mages. It's crazy. Grabs a World Breaker. If I draw a another Beast Within here, that's good. Cycle Tree Wraith. And I drew the Beast Within, guys. We're getting there. During my opponent's upkeep, we're going to Beast Within their Ugin. Yeah, and hope my opponent casts their World Breaker next turn. I guess I probably should have Beast Within the Karn during their upkeep earlier as well. I should be at 10 instead of 7. Oh well, shit happens, right? 5, 6, 7. They have another Ugin. I'm going to be upset. Hopefully it's just their World Breaker. Hopefully the way the mana is working, it is just their World Breaker. It is. I'm going to exile one of my lands. have black, black, and red, red. So it doesn't matter which one. I go to 4. Demonic Dread, their World Breaker. Choose to cast the Living End. Architects of Will is going to target my opponent. Let's go. I think I'm just going to leave him with a Tron piece, so it doesn't matter. Let's go Path, Ancient Stirring, Sylvan Scrying. That resolves. Blow up Tower. Blow up Mine. I blew up one of their mines earlier. Let's blow up the Razorverge Thicket. Just pass the turn. I have exactly 20 on board, too. Let's play the Kazakh Wolf Run, just in case my opponent does some shenanigans. Attack with all my creatures. My opponent have a Fog here. Path that guy. Sure. Let's go grab a Swamp. 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. My opponent goes to 4. Play the 7th Fulminator Mage of the game. Blow up their green-white source again. And that's a good game from the opponent. He scoops it up. Thanks again for watching my video, guys. I appreciate it. Remember to leave a like and a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of the video. Leave any suggestions you have. I appreciate you guys watching, man. Just keep with me. We're going to keep getting better and better. You can leave me some suggestions down below. It'll help me get better as well. I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.